Yo, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys a brand new video today talking about some Pokemon Sword and Shield leaks, rumors, and everything in between. This one is crazy, man. I am blown away right now, and we gotta jump into this. We gotta talk about this because this is wild. Okay, so let's take a step back here. First of all, you guys gotta check this out. I'm gonna put all the sources in the description below. This is about to be wild, man. Brace yourselves, brace yourselves. All right, let me set the foundation here. First and foremost, let me switch over to a night mode here. We've got this article here that I found basically talking about the fact that Krails, who is a data miner for Pokemon Go, has found that there's a couple new Mewtwo forms that were found in the kind of the data that are indicating potentially like an Armored Mewtwo form. Mewtwo A, which some fans believe it to be an Armored Mewtwo form, and then there's a new movie coming out. There's a lot of rumors about armored Pokemon, and this rumor slash leak really is going to talk about this. So this right here, 100% a leak. Like, we don't know if this is actually armor forms, but we can make some pretty interesting assumptions that there's going to be new Mewtwo forms in Pokemon Go, and it seems like when we saw with Meltan, they're really tying Pokemon Go into kind of the main series. So a couple things I wanted to point out there. The other thing I'll point out too, let me switch back here, is there's going to be a Japanese show called Oha Suta, which is going to air some new information regarding the new movie of Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, and there's a lot of talk about Armored Mewtwo and things like that being in there, and then that kind of tying into Pokemon Sword and Shield and the Armored leaks, which goes way back. Before Sword and Shield was even released or even announced, there was posts talking about the fact that the game was going to be called Pokemon Sword and Shield, and that would feature armored Pokemon. So this idea is not all that far-fetched altogether. It actually has a lot of plausibility to it, and the more and more, you know, information we get as we get closer and closer to this release, the more and more possibility that it is going to be just that. So there is a post right now on a website called Reset Era, which has a lot of, it's not 4chan, but it does a lot of conversation and stuff like that. Here I am on Fake Slurpuff's Twitter, which is a locked Twitter account. They used to go by Jinx Club, and they are someone who is pretty reputable in the community in terms of rumors and things like that. Do a lot of translations and stuff like that. So they're also talking about the fact that we're about 90% likely to get this Armored Mewtwo on Thursday during Oha Suta. So Armored Mewtwo being unlocked in Pokemon Go, and then that kind of tying into the promotion for the movie. Also, it's kind of tying into what could be a big part of Pokemon Sword and Shield. Now, here is the post and the real big discussion here. There's a Chinese leak posted on Reset Era. Now, Chinese leaks in the past have had a little bit more credibility because some of the bigger leaks that we've seen over the years have actually been Chinese leaks. So we're going to talk about this, and we're going to look at some different translations here, but this is the text here, and you guys can, again, look in the description below for the kind of the resources there. I'm going to go through Fake Slurpuff's kind of information first, and then I'm going to go to the post and see what other people have said in their own translations, because there's some various translations. So here's a couple things. There's 3 starters. Their final evolutions are Pure Fire, Pure Water, and Pure Grass. However, there's a new mechanic called Spirit Armor, and they become Grass Fairy, Fire Fighting, and Water Ghost. So Jinx also, I'm going to refer to them as Jinx and Slurpuff independently here, but the new Spirit Armor system is like inspiring a Pokemon's moves. Each Pokemon can inspire one move, having different armors, can have different effects. The armor doesn't occupy the battle item slot, but it'll occupy a new slot called the armor slot. Some old items will have new armor effects. So this is saying it's not going to be the held item. It's going to be a separate thing called armor, and old items are going to have armor effects. And there's some examples that we'll see here in a second. Like Never Melts Ice will actually make moves have a 10% freeze chance. There's a fire necklace that can cause moves to become fire typed. There may be other items that maybe increase the chances of burn, or maybe the chances of flinch, or whatever it may be, that are separate from the held items. So it's almost like Pokemon can have held items and armor simultaneously, and they'll have different effects. So that could be actually very interesting. And it's saying that the starter Pokemon are Pure Fire, Pure Water, Pure Grass, but they get their new armor, their special armor, Grookey's armor, you know, Score Bunny's armor, whatever. They gain a new typing that allows them to be dual typed. Now, this also talks about the fact that special armors can make Pokemon change forms. The starters, Mewtwo, Meltan, etc. We look at a Pokemon like Melmetal, which definitely looks like it can rock with some armor, so I'm not surprised there. And then there's only one box legendary, a Wolf. It changes to shield form or sword form depending on the armor it gets. They have different types and moves. The form can be changed by transferring it to another version. And the sword form is Dragon Steel. The shield form is Ice and Steel. Very interesting stuff here. So it talks about one legendary, which makes sense. When you look at the 2 logos for Pokemon Sword and Shield, it looks like it's the exact same wolf face. It's just flipped sideways, right? It's just flipped horizontally. So it wouldn't be surprising if it was one legendary that changed forms based on its armor. And to me, this is like, when I read this, and I haven't even read all the way through this yet, I'm kind of doing some of it on this video to get my genuine reactions, but when I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, dude, like, if there's been one rumor or a leak or whatever you want to call it that has come out that seems possibly legit, this one really jumps out to me. The box legendary cannot enter battle if it doesn't have an armor. A lot of characters from Kalos are going to return. Galar is close to Kalos, but you don't get to go to Kalos in the games. And then I might delete this in a few hours, save it before I delete it. So obviously we're getting to it kind of ahead of the game there. Here's the original post. There's a translation there, and you can compare the different translations on Reset Era. So let's go to Reset Era here, which is, again, I'll kind of swatch over to dark mode here. So here's the post, mysterious Chinese leak, and let's take a look at what some people have said. So the final evolutions of starters are Fire, Water, Grass. The new spirit system changes the final level typing, new armor and weapons, apparently in form of held items. Story revolves around retrieving and collecting the legendary weapons and armor. They call it martial arts equipments, but I believe weapons and armor may be more accurate. There's 3 royal houses of some sort and only 1 legendary, a giant wolf. And again, this is various people's translations. So it talks about the starters, and they use a spirit armor system. Spirit armor works like adding new effects like burn or freeze or status condition. There are a lot of different armors to collect, and they don't occupy the item slot. They have their own. The special armor can change forms of Pokemon, like the starters. The legendary Pokemon is a single one. Some old characters will return. Sounds like a legit leak to me. A lot of people kind of saying, you know, a lot of interesting stuff here. We'll try to see if there's any other really crazy stuff here. There's Joe jumping in, saying the fact that the trailer seems to be timed along Koro actually has me thinking that might be something. And then Joe said, no, it's common. This is pretty normal. And Joe says, oh Lord, here we go again. So of course Joe has his skepticism. As always, you should always be pretty skeptical anytime there's something like this. And I'm not trying to claim that this is legitimate. We do have a legitimate leak in the fact that this information regarding the data mining from Pokemon Go has indicated that there could be new forms of Mewtwo, or there is going to be new forms of Mewtwo. That's a legitimate leak that came through for Pokemon Go, which does point to the fact that we will most likely get some sort of an Armored Mewtwo form. And again, we know that this trailer is going to be coming out in this show called Oha Suta. There's been a lot of rumors we already talked about a Nintendo Direct coming on the 11th in just a couple days. The timing seems to be colliding just right for us to potentially get a lot of brand new Pokemon information, maybe even the legendary revealed, and a lot more kind of insight as to what's going on with Pokemon Sword and Shield. Are we going to get these armored evolutions? Are we going to get these different armored forms? Sorry about that, I had to take that call, but dude, as I'm even covering this, PokeJungle's posting about it, dude. This is catching fire right now. PokeJungle posted, this is speculation, as we should always kind of talk about there. There hasn't been much revealed about Sword and Shield, but that hasn't stopped the rampant speculation. And then again, this talks about the new Spirit Armor system. Allows you to equip armor or equipment that have been found. It could add different effects depending on the item. And oh my god, the implications for this, for competitive Pokemon, for in-game, this is actually really cool. So I've given a lot of this information about what I'm thinking in terms of how this works, but I haven't really given my opinion. And like I said, I actually, reflecting back, as much as Z moves were kind of I feel like what they did for competitive was really cool. When you take a step back and realize you could run like Fire MZ Sunny Day and boost your speed up and set up the sun, you could run like Z Trick to boost your speed, you could run like Z Conversion to change your typing and boost all your stats. There was a lot of unique things that kind of came from Z moves, and I think that having an opportunity to do something different through this Spirit Armor could actually be really, really cool. So again, I have no idea whether this is going to prove to be real or not. I do think that we are going to get some Pokemon information over the next coming days. Like I said, there's some rumors talking about potential Nintendo Direct coming up in the next 2 or 3 days. We don't know about that yet. I think that could be announced any day now if that happens. Whether or not there's Pokemon information, I don't know. Koro normally comes out within the next few days. There may be new information there. We know Oha Suta is going to be talking about this new movie, which is going to be pretty interesting. We'll see if there's an Armored Mewtwo there. That could directly tie right into Pokemon Go, as we do have Pokemon Go leaks that have indicated that there's going to be some sort of an Armored Mewtwo form. There's just a lot of pieces that are starting to connect right now that are really leading us to believe that there could be this Spirit Armor type of deal moving forward here in Pokemon Sword and Shield. So with all of that said, man, we've got got some pretty crazy stuff to digest. I'm gonna put everything in the description below. You're welcome to check it all out. Give me your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think this is real? Do you think this is just a bunch of shenanigans? I'm leaning towards maybe this could be real, man, because this armored rumor has really picked up, man. Like I said, there was a post about a guy talking about the names of the games and the fact that there was going to be armored Pokemon before Sword and Shield was even announced. So this armored rumor has really taken a lot of life over the last few months, and it's pretty interesting stuff to note here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Spirit armor, yes or no? Do you want it? Do you think it could be cool? I love the idea of taking old items, reimagine them into new things, and giving Pokemon new opportunities to be good. I just hope that every Pokemon can have armor instead of just a select few. Maybe a select few like the starters gain that secondary typing, but I hope that every Pokemon can use it, because if it's just like 5 Pokemon, then like what's the point, you know what I mean? So this could be really interesting. It definitely ties into the vibes that we've seen of Pokemon Sword and Shield and kind of a throwback. I love the idea of the different houses. I love the fact that legendary could be the same legendary that changes forms. There's just a lot of potential here, so really excited about it. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to hit that like button and share it with everybody. Let them know about this brand new rumor for Pokemon Sword and Shield. I'm gonna get the heck out of here, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Hit that like button, subscribe if you guys are new. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys on the next one. Peace.